I've got a tiger by the tail, it's plain to see. I won't be much when you get through with me.
Well, I think actually Buck started the Bakersfield sound. Not that people weren't doing Bakersfield type music before that, but what Buck did is I think he focused it and made it famous and popular and opened doors for everybody else to become popular and sell their music nationally.
I believe it was around late 50s or early 60s. I had never heard of Buck Owens, and we were working in Canada, and everybody kept telling me about this new singer, Buck Owens. And boy, I got to hear him, and I said, now that man is different.
When we were going in Irby's car, way in the early 60s, the song came on the radio, Together Again, and Irby Mandrell, that was the father, said that will be a #1 smash hit.
We'll start with this one. Together again, my tears have stopped falling. The long, lonely nights together now, right there.
Wayne and I was really lucky being born here in Bakersfield because we had the greatest teachers in the world. We had Jelly Sanders and Oscar, Buck, and the guys that have long passed on. You know, they're legends.
Very lucky to have grown up in such an environment with some of the
greatest entertainers in the world.
Buck was a legend. You know.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people think of me as being a torch carrier. I've talked with them, and I've got letters, and lots of them. But see, a lot of things happened just like it just worked out. That's just the way it worked out. You know, and the legendary area that they speak of some people, and of myself sometimes, I think, is that what a legend does? Is that how you get to be a legend? You get to be a legend because you live long enough? Why did they call you a legend because you're old?
You know, everybody asks me what's the Bakersfield sound, and actually it's just electric guitars. In the old days, most everybody played what they called muddy, with a bass. A lot of bass on their instruments. But Buck came out and put the treble on his Fender guitar.
We all brought with us kind of the Dust Bowl migration. You know, we were on the tail end of it in the 50s, 40s. I came out in February of 1947. And we all brought with us what knowledge we had. They call it the twang, you know. But that's the way we talked, that's the way we played. And we didn't know we were making Bakersfield sound. We were just playing music.
You know, I didn't have anything. I never had no idea that there was anything legendary about what we're doing. And I'm proud that people think like that, but that wasn't why I did it.
Oh, I've been asked so many times to describe that sound, and you can't describe it. It's just, it's more of a bite to it, and it's not like the fiddles and the orchestration. And then they came out with the Fender guitar. That had a tremendous effect on the sound because it's a sharp sound, a treble sound.
It was Buck Owens' sound. It was nobody else's. He didn't copy anybody, and he didn't let anybody tell him what he wanted to hear in his music. He knew what he wanted to hear.
I always thought I had to play loud to really say what it was I was trying to present. You can't play like you're sitting in a sitting room somewhere. I understood why a lot of people would say that, you know, my music was, you know, as much rock as it was country. And see, I always had in my head that I wanted to make sure I never did do anything that would make people think I wasn't country.
Back when when he had Don Rich as his lead player and his main person that he harmonized with, They had the most wonderful harmonies. And back then, too, Bonnie Owens at that time was the harmony between Don Rich, Bonnie Owens, and Buck. And the harmony they had was really special. So anytime I ever would do any song, even if it wasn't Buck Owens, one of his songs that he did, I would always put that in there because it seemed to make a song be like a Buck Owens song, even if it wasn't.
He had a huge impact on everything we hear today, and I don't know how many people realize how much he directly influenced the Beatles. It wasn't a little influence, it was a huge influence. He was that first shuffle rock and roll beat that George Harrison freaked out on, and then Lennon dug it, and then Paul dug it. They all dug it, and Ringo could play that beat.
And all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I'll bet you I'm gonna be a big star. I might win an Oscar, you can't never tell. But who says you're gonna make me a big star? 'Cause I can play the part so well.
He really had the audience in mind. If you see a lot of big name performers that cost you big bucks to go in to see, what you're going to see is a guy standing there holding a guitar singing the same song you heard on the radio. You go to a Buck Owens show, you see a show, and Buck Owens is there singing his songs. It may not be exactly like the record, stamped, you know, everything like that. He might stop in the middle and say, "Hey, you with that hat, where'd you get that? Look at Dave Mayf, look at that guy," you know. And that was something that I did in my shows.
You know, he's had so much influence here locally in Bakersfield, although he's traveled all over the world, you know, Nashville, all these other places in Europe and stuff like that. He chose to build his palace here in Bakersfield because he just loves the community and he loves the people here. And as you know, I mean, Buck, he entertained the people of Bakersfield right up to the night that he passed away.
And I think the one thing about Buck that I appreciated the most was when I knew that he recovered the big Bakersfield sign, you know, on Union.
Down the Union that said just me. Ever walk the streets of Bakersfield. See every side.
His legacy is exactly what this town was made of, which is, it wasn't about the glitz or the glamour, or it was about making good music and having a good time at it. And that's why he sang the night he died, and that's why he sang even when he didn't have to sing, and that's why he played and picked and hung out with the real musicians of this world. That's his legacy. His legacy is he was the real deal.
Well, I've got a tiger by the tail, it's plain to see.